Hello, everyone. John Bruna here with the Daily Quote. Thanks for joining me. Let's go ahead and get right to it. The best way to have good friends is to be one. The best way to have good neighbors is to be one. The best way to have a healthy workplace is to be a good coworker. Though we cannot change others, we can be an example. Now, first and foremost, just want to say right off the bat, this doesn't always work, right? We can be a good neighbor and find ourselves with some very difficult neighbors. We can be a pretty thoughtful coworker and find ourselves in an unhealthy work environment. We can do our best sometimes to be the kind of person we want to be and create the environment we want to be in. And despite our efforts, the circumstances may not be healthy. Our neighborhoods could change, our friends, can be unhealthy. So everything here is with a grain of salt, meaning that we always need to be thoughtful about the environments we put ourselves in, make sure that we do our best to put ourselves in healthy friendships, in healthy neighborhoods, and in healthy workplaces. But obviously, sometimes we can't do that. I know I personally have been homeless. I didn't have a lot of choice about my neighborhood and a limited option around my friends and was actively looking for work. Eventually did find a job and was able to work my way out of homelessness. But the method that is most practical at all times is exactly that. I develop good friends by being a good friend. I develop good neighbors by being a good neighbor. It's amazing the difference it makes in just the neighborhood we live in, the people we're around, making some eye contact, saying hello, being friendly, what that does to the environment. And I've also worked in some pretty dysfunctional environments. And it's amazing how a little bit of integrity and care and attention to others can make a difference. I actually worked in one place. Uh, yeah, nameless, obviously, but it was a place where big company. And I literally, I'd have friends just come in, sit down. I'd have a little snack there and, some treats and just sit down and just unload. Because it was a safe place. I was someone they could talk to. I'm not judging. And I wasn't also spreading gossip around the environment. It was just always focused on hearing someone, attending to them and asking them what they think would be healthy. And it's not very helpful to keep adding to the toxicity of a workplace. The point is, you can be the kind of coworker you want to have, you can be the kind of friend that you want to have, and you can be the kind of neighbor you would like to have. And it's amazing just how powerful that can be in one's life. You've heard many stories of me talking about my time as a school teacher and what some people would describe as kind of difficult environments. Yet I would tend to think all school teachers have their struggles regardless of the social economic environment. It's a tough gig. And the kind of teachers that really embody the passion for being there for their students by being an example of the kind of human being that they aspire to have their students be. That just goes across all socioeconomic conditions and certainly served me well in my years of teaching high school, being a good colleague. And by the way, this wasn't the dysfunctional environment I was thinking of. That was a different corporate world, though. You'll find the teachers that gather around and talk about how to be helpful. Wow, that really produces a different environment. So I invite you, in short, to be the kind of friend you want to be the kind of person you want to be the kind of neighbor you'd like to have, and kind of coworker you would feel proud to have. For no matter where you are, You're always in your own company. So be a good companion to yourself as best you can. And that means a supportive, compassionate one to yourself as well as others.